Hello everyone, welcome back to part 2 of the Coleman 200A Black Band. Oh yeah. And again, if you didn't see the first one, this was gifted to me from Howard over at Cabot Bluegill up in Vermont. And he gave me a little bit more detail. This was actually gifted to him from a coworker who said it was his grandfather's. So that's cool. I love to have the history behind it. So in this part, I'm going to show you where I'm at so far. Let's start with the band, okay? Now I'm not going to touch it because after I prime or paint something, I don't like to touch it to get any grease on it. But we got a little bit of pitting over here. I actually had a bear of a time getting the paint off of this. I don't know what kind of paint they use, but man, that's stuck on there. Vinegar did nothing. I even tried some navel jelly. That did nothing. And it ended up I had to use a paint stripper. And I did a lot of research on paint strippers, and I ended up using this one, which was actually the cheapest one. Not the cheapest, but it didn't fare very well in tests that people were doing. The one that seemed to do the best was, I think it's Janko or something like that. And I actually bought that and tried it, and it was expensive, like 20 something bucks. And it didn't work. It did not strip a fount for me at all. So I actually only tried a little bit of it, and I returned it. I said, this is crap. I ended up buying this one, and it was only 10 bucks, and it works great. It strips it off of brass, off of metal. You know, in a half an hour, it comes off. Now, that's a fount. On this, it took 3 applications to get it all off, but I got it off. So next, that's going to get painted. Let me show you my marvelous camera skills. So here's the fount. It's all primed up. It had one dent in it, and what I did was I just used some automotive body filler, basically Bondo, and I filled it up. I took a picture of it with my phone. I'll try to insert that and see if it looks all right. So, where else am I here? Okay. So this is going to get black. Obviously, the fount's going to get red. I ordered some parts for the tip cleaner. Last time you saw me pull this out. So I got a repro coming. The directional disc is dirty. I can't get that off. And you can't get aggressive because you wipe off the lettering. So I bought a new one of these. It's coming today. Along with the tip cleaner and a new decal. So some other things that I noticed. Let me get this out of the way here. When I was doing the fount, again, I don't want to touch that one. You wouldn't be able to see it anyway, but right here, okay, where the cap goes on, the fuel filler cap, it was rusted, and I mean really rusted. And all along on the inside, I had to actually use a pick to pick it all off. Then I ended up using a Dremel inside to clean that up, and I had to resand the top flat. And I was wondering why this was so rusted, but the inside of the fount really wasn't that bad. I did the vinegar bath. The vinegar did not attack the finish. Again, I don't know why. Some of them it does, some of it don't. So I had to strip the outside with that paint stripper. But I couldn't understand why this was so rusted. Then I figured it out. When I took the cap, the fuel cap apart, which is a 3-piece, right? You have the cap itself, you have a screw, and then you have an insert, okay? Now, this is the insert that was in there. And as you can see, it's just totally corroded. There's no gasket in there, and I'm like, wait a minute, it doesn't feel like it's brass. So let me show you here. So I grabbed a magnet. Well, this magnet's too weak. Let me get a stronger magnet. Where are we? Okay, so watch this. It's steel. I don't know why. Oh, that magnet was dirty. I don't know why it would be steel. I've never, again, I'm not a huge expert on these. You know, I have just a little under 20 of them, but I've never seen a steel insert for a fuel cap. So this is what caused all the corrosion on the stem. I have no idea. So that's odd. So what I did was I had another older one here off of one of my parts lanterns, and I took the insert out of that, and that is brass. And I put a new gasket in there. Okay, don't be tempted to go buy O-rings from your store. Pick up these gaskets from OCP, Old Coleman Parts. They're very inexpensive, and they're the correct ones. Okay, so that's going to go in there, and the cap is stripped. This will get painted, and the screw is a stainless steel screw. Okay, so that's the filler cap. What else we got here? Another thing that I noticed was that I forget what you call this. All right, so this part goes on the generator. The compression nut, I guess you would call it. This was steel. I don't know why. I've never seen a steel one of these. Okay, so this I don't know if this is an original generator or if this is a reproduction. I don't really know. Okay, but it had steel. So what I did was I got a brass one. Okay, so we're putting that on there. The frame nut here was steel also. I think this might be correct, but I decided not to use that. What I'm going to use is a brass nut. Okay, so a 1/4 brass nut. So all the other pieces are polished up. Check that out. And this is a ceramic burner end. So I was delicate with that. We got it all cleaned up. Got the Venturi cleaned up. The U-tube, it's funny, it's called the U-tube, and I'm on YouTube. What else we got in here? Okay, we have the eccentric block. That's good. Now the generator, let me refocus this and I'll bring it back. So the generator had some issues. Let me see here. What did I do with... Dang it. Give me a second. I can't find it. It's probably will show up sooner or later. Not that I really need it, but the spring, the packing, cardboard packing, and the spring and everything was just totally cemented in there. So I had to do the old heat it up, quench it, heat it up, quench it, heat it up, quench it. When I finally got it out, the spring was actually broken right about here. Okay, so this is a replacement spring. That can happen. Okay, so the spring was shot, cleaned all of that stuff up. The tube too it's lost a lot of its dimension from being probably from me quenching it so many times and burning it. So I'm not going to use this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pack it with bronze wool. Okay, now this is just bronze wool I picked up at Ace. It's fine. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this. But we'll do that just before I close the video because it's going to make a little bit of a mess. Alright, so where else are we at? We got the main fuel body. I'm getting the new tip cleaner. Everything else is good, all polished. What else I got to show you here? Oh, this also had this little brass screen in it, which is supposed to help with the pulsing, which this bronze wool will take care of. I used the bronze wool in the 275. Okay, where else are we at? Got the bail all done, came out really nice. And here's the vent cap. Look at that bad boy, huh? Howard, I bet you didn't think it would look this good, huh? And we got some character marks. Again, nothing we could do about that. But it looks really nice. And this was just a Evapo rub, soak, and then a cleanup. All right, so we got that. And now the frame. So here's the frame. Frame came out nice. Had a little bit of pinholes there. Hopefully you could see that. See the light through that. There's a lot of corrosion down in this area here. Now I painted the air tube. The originals didn't have that painted, as far as I could tell. The ones that I saw online, they're all sooted up. One guy said his was brass, but I actually didn't look like brass to me in the video, to be honest with you. I think they were all steel, but I decided to paint it. There was another guy who refinished one of these, and he taped it all off, and he said it was really a bear. But I decided that I wanted to paint everything, and this is flat black VHT flame-proof paint, and it's got to be cured, okay? It's got to be cured at 200 degrees for 30 minutes, then cooled for 30 minutes, then 400 degrees at 30 minutes, and then cooled for 30 minutes, and then I think it was 650 for 30 minutes, and then cooled for 30 minutes. Well, cooled and be done with it. And the way I did that was in my barbecue. And I lined the barbecue with a sheet pan and some heavy-duty aluminum foil to keep the actual flames from coming up. And it actually really wasn't hard to do. So I got the proper cure as per the manufacturer, and I think it looks great. So we got that. And then the hood rest, I painted that black. The ones I saw looked black to me. Could have been soot, but I figured, hey, we'll keep it all the same. The other reason why I painted the tube, was because if you look, with brass in there, I think it would look nice, a nice contrast. Instead of having like, the frame is black, the tube is silver, and then you got the brass. Too much going on, in my opinion. All right, so we got that. What else? That's pretty much where I'm at with that stuff. And I'll show you how I pack this generator. Oh, and I have the check valve and stuff. I didn't do anything with this. I got to clean it up. All right, so you don't want to put too much, and you don't want to pack it too tight. So here's just a little glob of it, okay? So what I like to do is leave the pricker in there, and you don't want to go, you basically want to make it the same size as this, okay? So I kind of, again, I've only done this once, but it worked great, so. And then I'll start it here. And just kind of roll it on. And again, I can see it's getting thick already, so I already have too much. You don't want it too tight. Because then it won't slide in and out. So let's test that. Too much. So I'll pull it back out. All right. Whoa. So there you have it. So now this packing is replaced with the bronze wool. Okay, and again it stops that whole pulsing thing. So it's as easy as that. And this bronze wool, I think I mentioned I got it from Ace Hardware, and there's 3 pads in there, and there's probably enough to do 150, 200 generators. You could buy these. They're actually a couple bucks a piece. So I wanted to go the bronze wool way. So there you have it. That's where I'm at right now. I'm waiting for the right humidity and temperature to paint the fount and the collar. And like I said, a couple more things to clean up. We got the cap nut. I still have to clean up the fuel valve, the knob. Paint the fuel cap. Let's see what else. Yeah, that's about it. And then we're going to be ready for assembly. So coming along nice. I think it's going to look really nice. The other thing that I did notice with these frames, somebody who had one, I think it was the same date as this one, the frame had all holes on the bottom, like the replacement frame I put on mine. So again, there's different variations, and you know, it's like the Smith & Wesson company. You can never say, well, that's the standard, because it's whatever they have at the time and they piece it together. So yeah, so that's where we're at. I'm pretty excited to get this together. Again, I don't like to rush anything. I want to take my time, make sure it looks good. So I just want to say, everyone, thanks for coming along. I hope you're enjoying these, because I'm having a blast making them. And again, Howard, thank you so much, man. I really, really appreciate it. And I appreciate all of you for coming and watching, my brothers and sisters. I'm sending you all much, much love. So thanks again, and I hope you're staying well, and we'll see you on the next one.